Hello friends, welcome to my channel, a channel for learning simple coding. If you find this video to be helpful, please like, share and subscribe this channel. In this video, we are going to learn how we can use composable function of Jetpack Compose library with fragments. As we know that fragments is a very important part of any Android application. It provides reusable UI components and environment. That means we can use multiple UI in a single activity. So we will see all these things, what is fragments and how we can include composable function in fragments. First of all, just see this the demo of application, that this application is running here. Whenever I click on this fragment 1, so it come with the fragment. This fragment 1 is because of the composable function. So by clicking on this button, I just call a composable function. That means in place of XML layout, I'm using a composable function to make this UI. Similarly, if I click on fragment 2, here I have a XML layout also. Fragment 2 with XML file part is from the XML layout, and fragment 2 which is coming after this, that is from the composable function. So in this way, I have combined the XML plus the composable function. That means I combine the oldest way of XML file designing a UI plus the new way of Jetpack Compose to design a UI. So I combine both. So how we can combine XML plus your composable function or Jetpack Compose library, or how we can separately use without using any XML file the composable function to build a fragment UI. That is the purpose of this video. So first of all, just you see that what is the your fragments. So the purpose of video is to use a composable function with fragment using Jetpack Compose. So fragments is a component which can be used over an activity to define an independent module UI component attached to the activity. This fragment is functional independent. Function means it works independently without link with the activity, but still whenever we close any activity or we destroy activity, automatically the fragment destroy. Fragment also have its own life cycle, and fragment also have its own XML file. So as we use activity with XML file, similarly fragment also use XML file, but activity may include multiple fragments. That means in a single activity we can use multiple UI or XML file with the help of fragment. So an activity may have any number of fragments, and fragment is also reusable and it can be used in multiple activity also. So whenever we use a fragment, we see that this graph, the chart which display here, it is fragment 1, and the chart 1, 2, 3, the buttons are giving here, list of buttons are giving here, those are belong to the fragment 2. So whenever we click on chart 1, then chart 1 fragment will display. If I say chart 2, then chart 2 will display. That means automatically the UI replace the previous UI and in a single activity. That is the working of fragments. So fragment can be used like this. We have a multiple your fragments in a single activity, or we may have a different activity with different fragments. So we can do anything whatever we want. And because of the fragment, we have a modularity, we have a reusability, we have a adaptability. It provides so many features also. So now the composable function. The composable function is the fundamental of Jetpack library. Without composable function, we can't use Jetpack Compose library. So it helps to design a UI. So we declare composable function like this. We have a composable notation, we have a func and function name. And remember that the composable function may can take any number of parameter, and it start with upper letter, otherwise it generate error. And a compose function cannot be called in a non-composable function. So composable function can only be called by the composable function. So these are some limitations. And if we have a typical example of Jetpack Compose library, we in place of set content view, we have a set content, and under this we just call the composable functions. Now But when we want to merge this composable function with fragments, so we have a two way to merge it. Remember that fragment is also use XML layout. So first way is just to, without XML layout, the composable function will replace the XML layout. For that we have to change here that whenever we pass the your inflator with the help of layout inflator, whenever we just attach the XML file with the fragment, in place of this we use compose view, and here required context dot apply, and under this we called set content your composable library, and under this set content we use the composable functions. Similarly, by second way we have a layout XML layout, and with XML layout we append this composable function. So means we can use XML layout also, plus we can use Jetpack Compose also. So how we do this, we are going to learn in this video. So how we can merge a composable function without XML file with fragment, and how we can combine this composable function with XML file also in a fragment. That is the learning in this video. So just we start here. So first of all I create one project and I say it is composable activity because I want to include all the dependencies in my application. So I am giving here example that fragment with composable function. So we say here finish. So it is open. Now we have to create one more activity. I have to create one more activity with XML layout because only then I can use fragments. So I say activity and I say blank or empty activity like this, and I give the name is to you can say my main activity like this, and we want to make it launcher. Finish. So this activity is with the layout. So in manifesto file I have to remove this main activity to run, and I want this my activity as a main activity, this one. So we have a activity, this main activity we have. Now we have the layout also, we have the main activity, we have replaced the activity. Now I go to this Gradle file and automatically I have all the dependencies that is required to run your Jetpack Compose library. So here in build feature option we have compose true. Here I say view binding also, view binding equal to true, that I also need view binding. Now dependencies is completed. Now in a layout what I want here, I want here the frame layout. So what I do, I go to coding and under the constant layer I can change it to linear layout, and I can give it to orientation to vertical, and here I just want here the frame layout I want, and I want to give the width to match parent and height to wrap content, and after this I need ID also. So here in ID I give it frame. Now I need buttons also. So for that I need another linear layout, and I say here the it is match parent width, and this is also wrap content, and here inside this layout what I do, I say orientation is horizontal, and here I design a button. So button, and I say wrap content, and that is also wrap content, and here in this button I give the ID also, and that ID would be btn fragment 1. Similarly I just take one more button and here I paste, and I give this as a fragment 2 as a ID, and I give here text also, and I say open fragment 1. Similarly, I give text here also, and I say open fragment 2. So if I say here the designing, so we have like this. Remember that we have this. So here I say now wrap content to parent match parent like this, and here also I say match parent, and I say weight also weight to 1, and same I say to this also. So automatically we have fixed it. And now with this frame layout I fix the width of this frame layout also, and if I say match parent, and here in frame layout what I do, I say weight should be 1, and remaining we have the designing of this also. Remember, we have buttons and we have this, we have design is ready now. So now what I do, I need now fragments also. So this also want ID, so I give ID to this also. I say inner linear layout. So we did this, activity is ready. Now I have to create a fragments. Remember that to create a fragment, just click on this and we have the fragment, and I take blank fragment from here, and I say fragment 1, and I give the layout name also fragment 1 like this. Finish it. Now I take one more fragment, so right click here and I say fragment 2, blank fragment, and I say fragment 2. So finish it also. And remember that I want to take two examples. First one I will take without XML layout, and second one I will take with XML layout. So first of all I take this fragment 1. So I do not need these information, so I remove this. I don't need these fragments examples on create anything argument. I doesn't need companion also, so doesn't require all these. Remove all this. I need only this one, and I don't need this layout also, so I am removing this layout here. Remember, I don't need layout, so I am removing this one layout 1. So I have a fragment layout 1, so I am removing this. I am not using this with this. For that what I use composable view, compose view like this. Under this we have required context like this. Then I have a apply like this. Remember that under this apply, I told you in this also. So if we have a apply, so I will use set content here, and then I will use composable functions here. So what I do, I just use here set content like this. Now under this I can use composable function, so I can create composable function also. So what I do, I say composable, and here I say function fragment 1 layout like this here. So here in this function I call this function here fragment layout 1 like this, and I design here one column. Here I need modifier equal to modifier dot max size like this, that I need. Now I need a horizontal alignment. I say alignment dot center, and I need here arrangement. So vertical arrangement equal to arrangement dot center like this. So it is generating error. Why generating error? I say modifier equal to modifier. So we have a modifier fill max size here, and the problem was coming because of this library is not importing automatically. So we have to import androidx.compose.ui.modifier. Now it is done. Here I just display one text to show you that it is working. So here I say it is fragment 1 and of I say it is font weight equal to font weight dot bold, and I say font size equal to 30.sp. So like this. We want to insert the library also, and I can also say that modifier equal to modifier dot align that would be of alignment center. Okay, done. This is done, and now for fragment 2 we have a fragment 2 also. So I remove this one, dependencies also in fragment 2. If I go to fragment 2 layout also, you see that here in fragment 2 layout we have this text to show this is fragment 2. So I say that it is fragment 2. So for that I go to the string fragment 2 with XML layout. So it is done. Now I close it, and here we have this, and we can also say text size, text style to bold, text size to 30 sp, and I say alignment. So you can say gravity to center, and I decrease the size to 25 sp. So now I say gravity to center like this. That is fragment 2, and inside this I want to take one more your view, that is compose view. Compose view, that would be the compose view, and I say match parent, and I say wrap content, and in this match parent I want to take composable view. I want to give ID. So ID equal to Android ID equal to ID, and here I say ID name to compose view like this, and this is required to insert this compose view, required to insert your content or your composable function inside this. So we will do the XML also. Here you can do anything whatever you want in XML. I am just giving a text view. You can insert button or some other image view also, and in this part I will use composable view. So for that I have to go to the fragment 2 here, and I have to remove all the code. Doesn't require these code, these parameter also doesn't require right now. Remove this composable companion operators also, and here the layout is inserted. So with this layout I want to insert my code also, and I say find by view ID, and here I say compose view like this, compose view, and here I want to see the ID. So I say r dot id dot compose view. So inside this I want to add dot set content like this. So inside this I want to add my composable function. So I say fragment to layout. Okay, so I create here one composable function or one more composable function. I create one more composable function and I say func and I say fragment to layout function name, and here similarly I just go to this and I copy this code, all line of code, and I paste here, and in place of fragment 1 I say it is fragment 2. Okay, so all fragments are ready. Now I need to go to the activity, this main activity, and here I have to use view binding. So I say here that late init initialization binding. So I say activity my main binding like this, and then I say binding equal to activity my binding dot inflator, then layout inflator, and here I just bind dot root. Now in this activity we have two button also, that button fragment 1, button fragment 2. So I will take this. So I say binding dot fragment 1 dot set on click listener. Here I want to write a code. That code would be that I take fragment 1, I take fragment 1 equal to fragment 1 like this. Then we have fragment layout. So I say fragment manager equal to get, which is support fragment manager like this. Then we have transaction. So say fragment transaction, and here we say fragment manager dot begin transaction. Then I take here that fragment, I take fragment transaction dot replace, and here I say r dot layout dot that I took here my layout, that layout would be the frame layout. That is the frame layout which I created here, frame layout, this one. So it is id, so I am taking layout here, so that is id. So id dot frame layout like this, and now we will replace it with the fragment, so like this. And then we say fragment transaction dot commit, transaction should be committed. Similarly, if I want to replace this with the button 2, so I say this is fragment button 2, and in place of fragment 1 I want to replace fragment 2. So done, I think, and our work is finished. So now I try to execute it. So you see the output is coming here. Click on open one fragment, so it is showing fragment 1, and remember that this fragment 1 have this composable function, and it's showing this is fragment 2, this is fragment 1. It have a fragment 1 here in text, and it is coming from the composable function. Similarly, if I click on fragment 2, so you see the first one is the fragment layout, upon that we have a fragment 2. Why this? Because I just use here the max size. I have to say max width like this and re-again it, so it will also solve. So it will show the XML layout also and with composable function also. You see, when I click on this, the fragment 1 is coming. If I click on this, fragment 2 is coming. So fragment 2 is there, maximum width, it going on upside, and here we have a XML layout also. Or we can remove this modifier also, no need of this. Try to run once again, click here, and it coming fragment 2 and this layout. Or we have this XML layout also here, and we can see this layout also. This is one, and this is going on, this is going upside here. So that is because of we have the frame layout here. So in place of frame layout, what I do, we have a text view here, and this is match parent, so I should do it wrap content like this. Then we have this one. So we have this, after this we have this, and I should take a linear layout also here because of this wrapping. I say match parent and I say match parent, and I just close it, and under this I just cut all these things and paste inside this, and I say orientation should be vertical. Okay, so that is match parent wrap content. This is also match parent and wrap content like this. Now I try to run it again. So it's just a layout problem, otherwise it is running properly. Without XML file, it coming here with the help of composable function, and with layout you see it is coming fragment 2 and the layout on the top. So it is running perfectly. So in this video we have learned how we can merge or combine composable function with XML layout in fragment also, and how we can use composable function in fragment without XML file. So I think you have learned so many things from this video. If you really find this video to be helpful, please like, share and subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching this video.